Hey, what's going on? It's Daniel Gillespie here with UponArriving.com, and in this video I'm going to show you some of my top travel hacking tools that can help save you a lot of time and money. So before I jump in, if you're new to this channel, I cover things like credit card rewards, hotels, airfare, and a lot of other interesting travel topics. So if you like that type of stuff, be sure to subscribe and hit that little bell icon so that you don't miss out on anything. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you 6 of my favorite travel hacking tools. I actually have a full list of 25 different travel hacking tools that you can find in the description below. So you can find the links to all of these tools I'm going to talk about in this video, as well as a lot more really helpful tools. And most of these are very easy to use, so you really shouldn't have an issue trying to figure out how to make the most out of these. And by the way, I'm still working on the new office, so excuse kind of the boring background. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to do in this little area, but hopefully it'll be a lot nicer in some future videos. Okay, so the first tool that I'm going to show you is AwardHacker.com, and this is one of the most efficient ways to search for award pricing for a lot of different airlines and programs. And this is super easy to use. So you're just going to go in and you're going to enter in an airport that you want to travel from. So let's say you're heading out from JFK, New York, and let's say you want to go to Paris. So you're going to enter in those two destinations, and then you can sort these by some more specific criteria. So in this case, let's say you're just looking at a one-way and you want to fly business. You're okay with up to one stop. You can actually choose a specific type of award program or airline to sort out the results. So in this case, if you're looking at Amex membership rewards, it would only show you airlines that are transferable partners to that program, for example. And then you can also hide off-peak awards. That just makes it a little bit clear-cut because sometimes the pricing can be a little confusing. So in this case, I have a one-way award in business class from JFK to CDG. So once you've entered all of your criteria, you can go down and see the results. They're going to be listed with the cheapest result at the top. So in this case, you're looking at 40,000 miles for a one-way trip, and this is going to be a flight operated on Etihad Airways, and this is Asiana, OZ. You can see their symbol here. If you go down here, here's Cathay Pacific, and it shows you 45,000 plus miles, meaning that the cheapest would be 45,000, but if you were working in extra connections or something like that, the price could be more. But as you can see, there are a lot of popular airline programs here. Aeroplan, Alaska, American Airlines. Not every major program is listed here, so this is not entirely comprehensive, but there are a lot of programs. And then if you look on the right, you can see actually which programs that have points you can transfer out to these airlines. So let's take a look here at Cathay Pacific. You can see they transfer from membership rewards, Citi thank you points. They do not transfer from Chase Ultimate Rewards, and it's still a little outdated because it has SPG listed, which is basically Marriott, and also we don't see Capital One yet, so maybe they will eventually update this. But this is a great starting point that can really save you a lot of time, especially in the beginning stages of your planning. So I highly recommend it. One last thing, if you click on this arrow here, you can actually start to kind of search for the tickets. They can provide you with the phone numbers you need to go to, and they kind of give you this step-by-step information about maybe different transfer ratios. Like here you can see. But in my case, I don't really get into any of that. I just really use this as a kind of a launching point and just quickly scan through and play around with the different search criteria at the top. So AwardHacker is definitely a solid tool for anybody who is serious about utilizing miles and points and sort of using them in the most efficient way as possible. Okay, so the second tool that I want to talk about is AwardOMatic.com. And what this is another efficient way to go about your travel hacking process. In this case, you're going to just be locating hotels that you can use your points at, but you can sort these by their price. So in this case, this is the homepage of AwardOMatic.com, and all of these little pins represent different hotels with different hotel chains. And in this case, you can go over to the left side and you can filter these down by the program. Now, obviously, you can still see Starwood. So again, some of these tools just kind of need to be updated with the new program mergers and whatnot. But in this case, I'm just going to sort down. Let's do Hyatt, just because Hyatt has such a small footprint that sometimes you have to just like remind yourself exactly how how small this footprint is. In this case, I'm going to just go ahead and zoom in here to Austin, and so here we go. There's a handful of hotels. In this case, you can go up to this points slider here, and this is how you can filter out the points by price. So the amount of points that you're looking to spend, let's say you're looking at 25,000 points per night. Hyatt hotels are kind of cheaper in terms of points required per night, so maybe bring this down a little bit lower to 15,000 and or below that. So yeah, you can see the pins disappear as you pull down that slider, and in this case you may be looking at 8,000 Hyatt points. So this is just a really efficient way to go about scanning different locations for possible hotels to stay at. And the thing about it is, this scanner, the slider, may not always be 100% accurate because of things like dynamic pricing that we're seeing more and more with hotels. So you always still want to verify, and also AwardOMatic and other hotel tools like Hotel Hustle, they don't always have the newest hotels in their tools. So if it shows you only, let's say, 4 Hyatt properties, there's a possibility that there could be more in that location if there are newer properties that just haven't made it in the tool yet. So always verify by maybe going to the main hotel's website and searching there via zip code or state or something like that, just to verify that you're not missing out on any properties. But in this case, it's still a very useful tool. Again, I think a lot of these tools are really great for people like me who like to plan these trips, these kind of like big trips, and they really want to try to go about it in an efficient way at the early planning stages. So you can go to WardHacker, and then you can find out the best prices that you can use, and then you can go to a tool like AwardOMatic and then get a sense of, okay, what kind of hotels are in this area, what kind of points am I going to need for these hotels, and then you can go and kind of investigate further to see exactly how many points you might need. But these are just kind of great starting points. So the next tool that I'm really big on is flightconnections.com, and this is one that I really don't see a lot of people talk about. But if you are interested at all in planning any kind of complex trip, or an around the world trip or whatever, flightconnections.com is just fantastic. So why I like it so much is, again, it's an efficient way to see exactly which airlines fly out of given destinations. So let's just say that you're like me, you're living in Houston, and you want to see what kind of direct flights you can get out of Houston. I'm going to go here and put in Intercontinental Airport, and then just like that, I have a world view of all of these different locations where I can find one-way flight or direct flights out of Houston. But it gets even more useful whenever you get more into it. So let's say in this case, I'm looking at going to Tokyo here. All right, so NRT, I'm going to select there, and then on the left here, I can see that both United Airlines and ANA serve this, and it also shows me the days of the week. So the days of the week is really helpful for some airlines, especially like Southwest, where they fly to a lot of places in the Caribbean, international destinations like that, but they may only fly there maybe 1 or 2 times a week. So in this case, it's a very easy way to view exactly when these airlines make those flights. And now they even have more features. These weren't here when I first started off with this tool, but you can sort by one ways, and you can now check your prices. I'm guessing they probably get some kind of commission on what flights you end up booking or something like that. So you can support them in that way. But this is a great tool, and again, I like that you can just input one destination and just see everything that comes out of there. So I just want to do one more to kind of drive home the point. So I'm going to put in LAX, and again, you can see just all of these different destinations. Looking at Madrid, let's see, London's probably going to have a few. Yeah, so you can get the whole lineup. In this case, you can see British Airways, Air New Zealand, American Airlines, United, Virgin Atlantic, and in my experience, this actually has been updated pretty well. I'm not sure. Again, with all of these tools, you always want to do a little bit of your own, or a lot of your own research to verify the accuracy. But in my experience, whenever I've been trying to plan these really big, complex itineraries, Flight Connections was always a reliable source, so I feel pretty comfortable recommending them to you. The next tool is called the Visa Supply Locator, and what this can do is this can help you know exactly how your purchase might code with your Visa card, so sometimes it can help you optimize your points. Okay, sorry, I lost the video because the screen recording that I did before was damaged, and so I have to redo this, but I'm just going to show you briefly how the Visa Supply Locator works. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and just enter an old zip code here to localize this to an area, and then I'm going to go down here and select industry, and in this case I'm going to go down to gas stations and fuel supplies. And the reason why I'm picking gas is because this is one of those categories where you could find a gas station that actually codes as something else, maybe as dining, maybe as travel, or even groceries in some cases. So I'm going to go down here and select I'm not a robot, search, and let's see what comes up. So you can see there are a lot of results. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scroll down on the left, and you can see the results. And if you look right here where it says industry slash MCC, which is the merchant code, you can see what the transaction should code as. So here we go with automotive repairs, gas stations. So a lot of these are coding properly, or as you would expect them to. And you can just go down to see if you see anything that kind of stands out. And in this case, it's going to be mostly gas stations, but right here you can see actually says restaurants and bars. So there's a good chance that if you went to this place to get gas and you made a transaction there, that you actually could trigger the bonus categories for dining. Now there are a couple of caveats. Number one, if you're trying to do this at a gas station, you always want to pay inside, because if you pay at the pump, it's pretty much always going to code as gas. So always go inside. And something that a lot of people don't know is that sometimes multiple registers within the same establishment can code differently. So you actually could go check out at a cash register inside of a gas station and have your purchase code as a gas purchase, and there could be a cash register only 2 feet away from you that actually codes as something else. So a lot of this is sort of that, your mileage may vary, kind of trial and error type of thing, but the Visa Supply Locator can be useful for trying to maximize your points in this way. Because think about it, if you found a gas station that was coding at triple the points you're currently getting, well, in that case, you could just start going to that gas station for the next couple of years and end up racking up a lot of points. Now, something else that it can do is if you click on the results, you can actually see the enhanced data level. And this stuff, level 2, level 3, basically means how much detail does the credit card issuer get from your transactions. So for example, a level 3 data reporting is going to give them more details about the specific items that you're purchasing versus a level 1. So, I'm not an expert on this, so I don't know exactly how it works, but I know that for some people, they don't really want the banks to see exactly what they're purchasing. And so in some cases, they like to avoid those level 3 reporting establishments and stick to level 1. Again, this really is not a concern for most people, but if you fall in that category, then you kind of may want to back off from certain places. Okay, so the final travel hacking tool is AutoSlash, and this is a great tool because what it allows you to do is to make a car rental and then input your confirmation number and rental car company into this website, and they will actually send you a notification whenever the price drops on your rental car reservation. So this is a great way to save money. It has been a while since I've used it, so I'm not sure how robust it still is, but I know a lot of people still do talk about it and still use it, so that's why I'm still going to recommend it. So again, if you're going to be renting cars, you probably want to give AutoSlash a look. So that's all for these 6 travel hacking tools. Now again, there are a total of 25 travel hacking tools that you can check out in the description below. So be sure to check out all of those. A lot of those are really helpful, and some of them just kind of give you some kind of clever ways to go about your travels a little bit easier. Others allow you to compare prices, like should you fly, should you drive somewhere. So some of them are pretty interesting. So be sure to check those out. And if you liked this video or found it helpful, be sure to drop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks a lot.